Hi, everybody, and hi to Spain, especially in all the Spanish speaking countries. I want all the Spanish speaking countries, particularly Andalusia, part of Spain, and all the flamenco regions to understand I am Irish. I am doing a video on flamenco music, and if I am inaccurate, I really want to say I am so sorry. Lo siento por todo for the video then. But I'm hoping I'm going to get this right. Why? Alfredo Lagos and Rosalia, I have discovered, came out with a song called, which we're going to listen to in a minute, and a lot of you have heard already in Spain, but I never did. I never did. But I've learned one thing in my research. There's no translation to the lyrics that Rosalia sings in the song. So therefore, why are these two gentlemen next to me? I will explain in a minute. To all the English speaking people, this is a song that's been reacted to quite a few times. The modern day thing on YouTube is, it was so beautiful. Wow. Oh, and this song, oh my God, I thought it's flamenco, does not deserve those kind of reactions. It deserves somebody like me, I have a wonderful partner from Bilbao. I'm a gay man, but he's a wonderful guy from Bilbao. And we are very happy for over 15 years, who has taught me to appreciate Spanish music. And if there's any other reactor listening to this to take notes, maybe they want to do a reaction and maybe I can help them. Do not approach flamenco music unless you do your research. Flamenco music has to be honored, it has to be respected, it has to be one of those forms of music, especially when you don't understand the language. If you're from an English speaking country, you don't go into Spain, take out a flamenco song, listen to it, and then put it on YouTube with the stupidity of a reaction that is, it touched me. Why did it touch you? And here's my question to everybody that has reacted. If you've reacted to Taranta, where did you get the lyrics? Because they don't exist. I'm thinking two things here. Alfredo Lagos and Rosalia are doing a cover version of Taranta that is sung by another very famous flamenco singer. I cannot think of her name. Oh, I am sorry for that. And she doesn't release, she does Taranta in her album and her greatest hits, but she doesn't release the lyrics of Taranta. So that made me think, is it a secret? Is it? No, because what happens with this particular song is this, and I want everybody who loves flamenco music, who's English and or bilingual but from another country but loves flamenco, just to listen to the little bit of research, and we're going to sew it together. Listen to Alfredo Rosalia. You come back and I finish sewing everything together about this song because it's quite complex. So I have to make it simple. Durante, the title, as is a flamenco style, was originated in the region of Almeria. Durante is one of the cantes minoro levantinos and is as the origin of mining songs. Look at the gentleman next to me sitting on the chair, the picture. It is composed by a couplet. That's what we're going to hear Rosalia sing. A couplet of, it's almost like we would say in English, a few lines of a verse. Imagine that. But it's known in flamenco terms as couplets. And it's around 4 or 5, 8 syllable verses. One of them is repeated, as we're going to hear with Rosalia, when it's sung. And the first Durante singer was, and I'm going to press the, I know how to say it myself, I'm going to say it, Rocco Al, the middle part gets me, Pargatero. Let's see if I've said it right.
Rojo el alpargatero.
Yeah, muy bien, Loken. Gracias. De nada, Loken. So I'm very happy with that. So that is the person sitting on the chair, and Almeria, and in them he became to acquire the name of a good man from Malaga. So he was known as the guy sitting on the chair, the good man from Malaga, who sang his cantes his style of flamenco from the mining village that he worked in at one stage. He went to set up a business, it failed, he took his wife and just started to perform his love of flamenco, and it was called Taranta. So it's traced all the way back to the guy sitting on the chair. Now, in the mining city, he set up an inn and became known as a singer. And they moved to La Union, and that's where he set up the inn, became known as a singer, and it didn't take long for couplets to appear that chronicled that movement in his life. So that's the background to the origins of Taranta, how it was born. Then people say, well, why have you featured the guy next to me? And I'm going to tell everybody why this particular handsome man playing the guitar is sitting next to me. And he's called Paco de Lucia. Francisco Gustavo Sanchez Gomez, known as Paco de Lucia, was a Spanish virtuoso flamenco guitarist, composer and record producer, a leading prominent of the new flamenco style, because from the guy in the chair, he modernized it. He modernized flamenco, not particularly Taranta, but he just modernized forms of flamenco. So much so that very famous people like Richard Chapman and Eric Clapton, and authors of guitar music history players, describe Lucia as a titanic figure in the world of flamenco guitar. So that's a huge figure. I've given you musical links in my description below to this particular Paco de Lucia, because his music is phenomenal. So again, you've got the background of Taranta, the history, you've got who modernized it, one of the leading players who modernized it, not the leading player. And as I said, the song is drawn up into couplets. And this is what Rosalia, we're going into the video now, Rosalia is going to, and Alfredo is going to play with his guitar. To do them justice, I'm going to make these two people just disappear. Like that, look, very easy. So goodbye, gentlemen. It was nice getting to know you. But today's guests have to be justified in what they play and what they sing, because this is an extraordinary song in flamenco, and of course it's in Spanish, and extraordinary guitar playing. And it's the first single that launched Rosalia into the world that she's become known. Now, she's a pop phenomenon, but also a flamenco phenomenon. And for these reasons, that is why I have done a background little history on this song to give this particular video and do it justice. And I hope to all the Spanish people who are purists listening, I have done my best. I may be not so accurate. I may be a little, but I have tried to explain it, this particular song, the background, and give the song justice, because flamenco music like this deserves a video that does it justice. Have I? Please comment. If you like it, please like, and please subscribe to my channel and look out for the other Rosalia's flamenco songs I've done and reactions. Take it away, Alfredo Lagos and Rosalia, and let's enjoy, and please come back for the final bit of history on flamenco. Sorry about the interference. Now, everybody, that is flamenco music, Taranta. And before people say, what does Taranta mean? I could not find an actual translation for the word Taranta as well. Taranta just meant Taranta. Even with the Google Translate, I tried everything. So if you know what Taranta means, the exact word Taranta, please let me know in the comments as well. As you can see, the flamenco music is couplets. It's a couple of couplets where she raises her voice, goes back down to the couplets. But it's the guitar playing, isn't it? Along with the singing that makes you feel wow. And the Taranta has its own style that has been modernized for this particular type of video and music. So I'm going to give you the note before we finish on that I took. It's called the Taranta tone. To accompany canta por Taranta, an alternative tonality was established to the top guitar. And this is for all these people who play guitar, and there's thousands of you on YouTube that do, thousands that listen to how to play a guitar, and a lot of people has it as a hobby because they're in bands. So listen to this, which consists of transporting it on the 2nd fret on the modal F sharp, leaving the Andalusian condenser for guitar variations and the falsettos on the chords of B minor, A minor, G major and F sharp major, and for the singable section. The Taranta itself tonic in D major, dominant in A major, and subdominant in G major. Now, a lot of you are going to be lost over that and say, what the hell does that mean? And this is basically in English what, for all good guitarists, what it means. To perform the mining touch, the guy in the chair, remember him who developed the whole Taranta influence and way of doing this particular couplet flamenco music? Well, a new alternative tone was created to touch from the above. If the Taranta is at 2 above without bar and the minor is transported to the 4th fret on the modal G sharp, it is created for the concert guitar, hence the guy that can do modern versions of music in flamenco, and his name was Paco de Lucia. Do check him out on the description. So we go back, and the Andalusian condenser, which is always back to Andalusia. Everything from flamenco always can be traced back to the region of Andalusia in Spain. It's performed on the chords of the C minor, B major, a major and G major, and it's very common today to accompany very different styles in the tone of minora, which is the Taranta sound of guitar playing is known as the minora, a tradition started by Paco de Lucia. So think about that. I've tied in Paco de Lucia because of that particular type of guitar playing that goes back to what's called the Taranta tone, what comes back to the video that is Taranta. So you've got the history of Taranta, where it originates from, the person who brought it to being modern, and so purists out there who say Rosalia has brought a modern touch, it's not as pure as it should be. Paco de Lucia has brought it to a modern era. There should be no criticism about Rosia and Alfredo's performance here. It's flamenco. And flamenco today, whether the purists like it or not, has to be modernized to bring it up to a place where I can enjoy it, where we have just all enjoyed it. And I hope you have. Thank you for listening. I hope I've done Spain justice, flamenco music justice, the region of Andalusia justice, Paco de Lucia justice, and I hope, and a big round of applause. I've got to bring Google up to say his name. And we all say it together now.
Rojo el alpargatero.
Gracias, Rocco. Gracias por escucharme.